What if your greatest weakness could become the seed of your strength? What if the world's cruelty was the very thing that shaped your destiny? And what if one small moment could change the entire course of your life? This is the story of Lucas, a boy born with nothing, who proved that the true measure of a person is not what they possess, but what they choose to believe. Long ago, in a distant land, there lived a young boy named Lucas. Life had been harsh to him from the very start. His father died when Lucas was just a baby. His mother, left with nothing, worked endlessly day and night just to put a little food on the table. Lucas went to school in clothes that were worn and patched, and shoes so torn at the edges that they barely held together. His classmates mocked him cruelly. They laughed at his ragged clothes. They wrinkled their noses and said he smelled bad. They called him a beggar. Lucas said nothing. He lowered his head, hiding his broken shoes from their sight, wishing he could disappear. One scorching morning, on his way to school, Lucas noticed a boy sitting by the roadside. Unlike the others, this boy did not laugh or play. He simply watched quietly. Lucas slowed down. The boy had no legs. When their eyes met, the boy's gaze fell to Lucas's torn shoes. Instead of mocking him, the boy smiled gently. "Your shoes are beautiful," he said. Lucas froze. He looked down at his ripped shoes, then at the boy's missing legs. His chest tightened. Those words struck deep, not because they praised his shoes, but because they revealed something he had never seen before: gratitude. That night, Lucas couldn't sleep. The boy's voice echoed in his mind. "Your shoes are beautiful." For the first time, Lucas realized something powerful: he had legs. He could walk. He could run. He wasn't as poor as he thought. The very next day, when his classmates teased him again, Lucas no longer lowered his head. He lifted it, smiled, and replied, "At least I can run. Some children can't." The laughter stopped. The boys fell silent, unsure of what to say. From that day on, Lucas stopped feeling ashamed. He began to help his mother more. He studied harder than ever before. After school, he worked delivering newspapers, polishing shoes at the train station, saving every single coin he earned. He never begged. Instead, he gave everything he had to build something better. One evening, while shining a pair of shoes at the train station, a gentleman in a fine suit asked, "Why are you working so hard instead of playing like the other children?" Lucas looked up, sweat on his brow, determination in his eyes. "Because," he said, "I want to build a life where no one needs to put others down to feel strong." The man said nothing, but quietly slipped him a generous tip before walking away. Those small moments of dignity, of holding his head high, became the foundation of Lucas's dream. Years passed. Lucas worked, studied, and grew stronger. Whenever life tried to drag him down, he remembered the boy with no legs, and the gratitude in his heart lifted him back up. One summer, when the heat was unbearable and the streets were empty, Lucas stood proudly outside a little shop he had opened. It was more than just a flower shop. It was the beginning of Bloom Empire, a place where flowers, candles, books, and handmade crafts created by struggling families filled the shelves. He had used every coin he saved and borrowed a little more. People laughed at him again. "No one starts a business in this heat," they mocked. But Lucas stood tall, sweat dripping down his face, hope burning in his eyes. At first, people came for flowers. Then they came for the warmth of his words. Soon, the boy who once polished shoes became known as the young man who sold inspiration. Bloom Empire grew. It spread to cities, then to nations. It opened online shops, then expanded overseas. Lucas began traveling the world, giving motivational talks, building schools, and helping street children start their own businesses. Today, Lucas wears suits. He boards planes. He speaks on the grandest stages. He is the CEO of a global brand that supports struggling families around the world. Yet, in his shining office of glass and steel, he keeps one treasure above all: his old torn shoes. When visitors ask why, Lucas smiles and says, "These shoes remind me that success is not about where you begin. It is about what you choose to believe." Don't wait for perfect tools. Start with what you have. You may be poor, but you are not empty. You may be small, but you are not weak. Even under the burning sun, a flower can rise. And so can you. Success does not always begin with money. Sometimes, it begins with a moment, a single moment that awakens your soul. The world may only see the empire you build, but only you will know it all began with broken shoes. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And if you'd like more stories that awaken the strength within you, subscribe to Whispers Within, because sometimes one story is enough to change the way you see your life forever. Thank you for watching.